By the end of this video, you will understand that your destiny may have already changed for the better, and you haven't even realized it yet. This motivational story will change your life. John always believed that his life was marked by bad luck. Since childhood, it seemed that everything slipped through his fingers. Toys broke for no reason, his grades in school were average, and as an adult, his jobs never lasted long. He looked at others and saw success, happiness, stability. For him, however, destiny always seemed to reserve a path of frustration and losses. One night, after being fired for the third time that year, he wandered aimlessly through the deserted streets of his city. He sat on a park bench, immersed in his somber thoughts. That was when an old man sat beside him. He had a deep gaze, as if he could see beyond what normal eyes could perceive. "Why are you so down, young man?" asked the old man, his voice serene. "Because my life is a series of defeats," John sighed. "No matter what I do, I always end up losing everything. My destiny is failure." The old man smiled slightly and murmured something enigmatic. "What if your destiny has already changed, but you are still living as if it hasn't?" John frowned. "What do you mean? That doesn't make sense." The old man stood up and placed a hand on his shoulder. "When one door closes, sometimes another has already opened. But if you're too busy mourning the closed door, you won't notice the one that is open. Pay attention, young man. Maybe you are already on the right path, but you just haven't realized it yet." "Let me tell you a story," said the old man, settling onto the bench. "There was once a man named David, who for years had cultivated only one type of grain in his arid lands. He always complained that the soil was poor and could produce nothing else. One day, a great flood devastated his crops, leaving only mud and destruction. Desperate, David abandoned his land and moved to another city. Months later, upon returning, he found the same land he had once despised, now covered with new crops and abundant vegetation. Other farmers had settled there and were harvesting a variety of foods. That was when he realized that the flood he had cursed had, in fact, made the soil fertile. If he had seen beyond the destruction, he could have been the one to benefit from the land's new riches. His destiny had changed, but he had failed to see it. John fell into deep thought. The old man then concluded, "Sometimes we are so focused on what we've lost that we fail to see the opportunity it brings. Your destiny may have already changed, but you are still stuck in the past." The next day, while checking his emails, John found a message he had previously ignored. It was from an old college colleague, offering him a job opportunity. He decided to respond. A few weeks later, he was employed, and unlike his previous jobs, this one felt smooth, as if it naturally fit into his life. Then came other small changes. Luck seemed to be on his side. He found forgotten money in his pocket, ran into an old friend who introduced him to influential people. Even an investment he had made years ago, which he had lost hope in, suddenly began to yield profits. Every day, John realized that his destiny had indeed changed. But then he wondered, had he ever truly been unlucky? Or had he simply lacked the ability to recognize the opportunities around him? The truth was simple, yet profound. Destiny can change, but you must be ready to see it when it happens. Now I ask you, how many times have you been stuck in something that went wrong without realizing that a new opportunity was already in front of you? Just like John and David, perhaps you've been through tough times and believed that everything was lost. But what if, in reality, your life has already changed for the better, and you just haven't noticed? Look around. Pay attention. Opportunities don't come with big announcements. They emerge in the small things, in unexpected encounters, in challenges that seem like obstacles but are actually invitations to grow. Has the door already opened? And are you still looking at the one that closed? If this story inspired you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your support means everything to us.